Welcome to episode 2 of Cards Against Moomin. Last video I asked you for card suggestions and they were comedy gold. If you put Muddler's unfinished paint job inside the hobgoblin hat, you'll get Moomin Papa's homemade booze. He's got that Manhattan Dynamite. There's now a 2022 remake of Moomin. The first episode will feature Chuckster and Mimble's failed marriage. Well, at least you got custody of Snufkin. I thought you got custody of Snufkin. Then where is Snufkin? After completing his botanical collection, Mr. Hemulin began collecting the secret love affairs of a queer Finnish woman. Mr. Hemulin, no! Controversy erupted when it turned out that the Muffle's latest invention turned out to be a modified version of Moomin Mama's secret ingredient. Oh boy. According to a new scientific study, Moomins are no longer classified as hippos, but as the Groke's depression instead. No wonder you keep having dreams where she kills you all. You're the embodiment of her depression. Hodgkins fears the day Muddler starts hoarding slug-a-bed mushrooms. Muddler, pull your life together! The Hattie Fatteners gather to watch the day the comet doesn't miss the valley. I just wrote a 20k fanfiction about Buff Snufkin. Buffkin. Just 80 pages of
seen his jawline, shoulders and muscles push against his fashion sense.
We've been fooled by an evil imp. The only thing to save us now is Moomin Trolls buy panic.
Snufkin!
Snufkin?
And the imp's like, alright, I've seen enough of this. No food? No worry. Moomin Mama's whipping up a batch of the Muffles Super Fuel. Delicious and nutritious. Not at all intoxicating. The police inspector's so oblivious he wouldn't notice Snufkin with a gun and he's not afraid to use it if it was right under his nose. It sounds far-fetched, but if Snufkin can convince him he's jailing an invisible robber, he can convince him of anything. Why, this isn't a gun, Inspector. Why don't you just go back to sleep? Muskrat's latest philosophy, never trust
Snufkin.
He may be named Snoofkin, but I would still trust him with my life. The Moomins finally discovered Christmas's true identity. It's really Little Mai with rabies. Now I'm just picturing her in like a Santa Claus hat, foaming at the mouth. She thinks it's funny to start inventing Christmas traditions. She's like, oh yeah, you gotta chop down all those pine trees. Then under them, a bunch of gifts. The only thing scarier than the Groke is Bob about to strangle the person who translated her name. Good for her, she should. Finally fed up with the Moomins, the witch released a plague of Snufkin's repressed emotions upon the valley.
You guys are so screwed now!
Snufkin's busy writing his latest spring tune. This year it'll reflect the Groke pining for Moomin Troll. Jealous much? Groke, wait! Please don't freeze Sniff's man cave. If you do that, he's gonna come live with us. Sniff finally got some money, but he spent it all on a one-time chance to hug the Groke. That's the opportunity of a lifetime. We don't have to worry about ice deities anymore. The true monster will always be Aunt Jane hunting you down. It's true, there's nothing scarier than bad relatives. Snork Maiden sure knows how to throw a party. There's the King's Ruby and the Queen's Emerald as disco balls here. You know what the real gift for the Moomins' Christmas was? Moomin Mama's inhumane ability to create delicious food out of anything. That is true on all levels. Now for the first act in Moomin Papa's tournament. The Groke getting a driver's license. Moomin Troll's like, alright Groke, the last thing you need to learn is parallel parking. And the Groke, who was fully confident in her driving skills up until that point, she's just like, Sniff fears almost everything, but he'll never back away from a staring competition with the Lady of the Cold. Sniff must have a death wish. Either that or he is not afraid of ice deities. The Moomins are coming to theater. Their first musical number is called The Day Snufkin Doesn't Come Back in the Spring. No! It's because they couldn't find anyone good enough to cast for Snufkin. Stinky was finally put behind bars for life after being charged of crying on the dusty floors of the cursed theater. He's like, and they're like, sir, can you get up please? All of the valley is blind to Moomin Mama's secret ingredient, a collection of seashells Stork Maiden gave to Moomin over the years. He's like, Moomin Mama, will you please keep this safe? Of course, dear, you know I will. In the absence of the Woodies and the Fire Spirit, Snufkin decided to adopt a witch with 3 diplomas. I don't think the witch is gonna have that. Soon you'll be eating yourself square and round on the Mimble Children Factory. I mean, there's enough of them to go around. There's a banned, unaired episode called Getting High on Slugabed Mushrooms in Moomin Valley. That's not banned or unaired, that's a canon episode. One of my favorite episodes, actually. For his latest acquisition, the Hobgoblin agreed to grant 3 wishes in exchange for Mrs. Fillyjonk beating you up with her umbrella. He's got a weird sense of humor. Yes, she'll beat the crap out of you, and then I'll give you 3 of anything you can imagine. Well, I mean, fair enough. What's in Toffslon and Vivslon's suitcase? Moomin Papa with a gun. He just pops out like,
"That's what you get for stealing my wife's handbag."
a pair of legs stands on you in the night. But it's not a ghost, it's Moomin Valley writers hating Sniff. Walk all over me, why don't you? All I want is for Sniff to have a real character arc. Just one. It's widely known that the King's Ruby represents Snork Maiden's bad hair day. What the heck, Hobgoblin? In the books, it's showing them a bunch of their fond memories, like Moomin's late night swims with Snufkin, and then she goes up to it and it's like, gee, thanks! That was just my favorite moment in life. In Snufkin's latest hate crimes against private property, he destroyed 1969 Moomin. Well, he already fully destroyed him in this scene.
Konnichiwa.
Alright, that's it for round 2. Thank you for watching and thank you for the suggestions. I think a part 3 will come in due time.